2018 Alfa Romeo MiTo Review. The good points of Alfa Romeo MiTo. Distinctive exterior styling. Strong performance from most engines. Turbocharged petrol's a highlight. Space for 4 adult passengers. The bad points of Alfa Romeo MiTo. Firm ride on many models. Interior plastics take time and effort. Diesels sap the fun from the jaw horse. High boot sill. The Alfa Romeo MiTo is surely an Italian mini-hatch rival, a 3-door supermini with premium pretensions, sharp Italian styling and several flair for that fashion-conscious car buyer. As well as taking up the ubiquitous Mini, in addition, it goes up resistant to the Audi A1, DS3 as well as other stylish superminis such the Fiat 500 and Vauxhall Atom. Interior doesn't match the outer. Despite the promising exterior, things be a bit more disappointing after you jump inside MiTo. A harsh ride, poor noise insulation, deficiency of cabin space for storing and interior quality that fails to get results of the standards of that rivals all conspire to spoil the feeling. The many different plastics used through the entire interior feel cheap and low quality, same as the minor controls and switchgear. DNA driving modes. A key ingredient in how the MiTo drives is its DNA system. It includes 3 driving modes selected with a switch ahead and the gear lever, dynamic, normal and all-weather. They customize the power steering, engine and traction control settings, among other elements, along with the car feels markedly different based on which mode is selected. Engine response, by way of example, is more immediate in dynamic mode, which makes the steering far heavier. Depending on your own point of view, it's sometimes a fun gadget or perhaps a frustrating system which makes you wish Alfa had picked one optimum setting and stayed with it instead of offering several compromised choices. Or, failing that, a fourth option that allows you to select your individual settings in the options available. On the main, though, the MiTo is often a sharp little car-driven automobile, with quick responses with the steering and well-contained body roll. It doesn't feel that can compare with an Alfa should. However, it suffers which has a firmer ride than almost all of that most direct rivals, which sullies the feeling somewhat. Model updates. Throughout its life, the MiTo may be subject to several tweaks to hold it fresh and up-to-date, especially with what's within the bonnet. A year after its launch, Alfa raised the bar using its multi-air Petrol models, incorporating new technology that creates it run more effectively. The MiTo was presented with more power, lower emissions and improved fuel economy. There has also been the introduction from the sporty 170 horsepower Cloverleaf model, returning of an iconic performance badge, which has since been discontinued. To say the MiTo range operating its comings and goings is confusing can be an understatement. Fiat's clever dual-cylinder twin-air petrol engine debuted in 2012, as featured inside the smaller 500, producing more power than its naturally aspirated alternatives and boasting much improved fuel economy claims minimizing emissions. In autumn 2013, Alfa announced an array of updates including a touchscreen multimedia system as well as a new version on the twin-air engine with 105 horsepower. The MiTo also got a bit of makeup with many extra chrome detailing outside on some models, and black mesh on others, tinted rear windows plus a different finish to the headlights in addition to new seat fabrics and dashboard color schemes. The verdict. Buyers who opt to the MiTo over its rivals may be confident of running a car that's much less common, more attractively priced and much better equipped and also more practical. couple by purchasing strong resale values and affordable lease and running costs, and clear this is the first small Alfa within a long time that draws both the heart plus the head. However, the inside with the MiTo hasn't aged along with the outside, turning it into feel quite dated once you jump driving, specifically when compared with the Mini. The driving experience also doesn't quite complement with the likes from the Mini or Audi A1. Should this premium supermini be in your shopping list? Watch the whole Alfa Romeo MiTo hatchback review. Petrol dominated lineup. 1 frugal diesel. Something geared to most tastes. A selection of feisty petrol engines and something eco-friendly diesel power the Alfa Romeo MiTo. 4 petrol engines to pick from. It's very good news for petrol fans, because MiTo is available, which has a choice of 4 engines out there. The range kicks off using a 78 horsepower 1.4-liter unit, which can be only recommendable if you're getting a MiTo on a tight budget, so you only use it out and about. With a 13.0-second 0.62 miles per hour time as well as a top speed of 103 miles per hour, it's unlikely that any 4 on the motorway looking for hours on end. A meager 115 Nm of torque doesn't help whenever you want to overtake, either. It's also the very least economical and least efficient model inside the range, despite its modest power output. A nippier proposition may be the 875cc dual-cylinder twin-air engine, producing 105 horsepower. This engine incorporates a really buzzy character. It's a lot like a motorbike engine, that feels big-hearted on account of a really growly engine. Realize that sounds like you're going considerably quicker than you're really. It'll grab the MiTo from 0.62 miles per hour in 11.4 seconds and onto a highly regarded speed of 114 miles per hour, so it's still not one of the most rapid engine. Nonetheless, it's far more economical versus the 1.4. Find each of the figures within the running cost section, and feels usefully more punchy on account of 145 Nm of torque, a turbocharger plus an eager nature. Providing more get up and go is really a 1.4-liter multi-air engine, producing 140 horsepower and 230 Nm of torque. Having a 6-speed dual-clutch. Alfa calls it TCT automatic gearbox. There's no manual available here. It's great for a 0.62 miles per hour duration of 8.1 seconds as well as a 131 miles per hour top speed, so that it is much quicker compared to twin-air. The top-spec Veloce is powered by way of a 170 horsepower version on the 1.4 multi-air engine, also exclusively having a TCT gearbox. There's a hook increase in torque to 250 Nm, along with the 0.62 miles per hour time falls to 7.3 seconds, while top speed is rated at 137 miles per hour, just one diesel option. If you would like diesel power for the MiTo, there's one choice, as it's unlikely many buyers will likely be specifying a vehicle with fuel coming on the black pump. It's a single 3-liter turbocharged unit, snappily badged JTDM2, offering 95 horsepower and 200 Nm of torque. Accelerating from 0.62 miles per hour has a leisurely 12.5 seconds. And will also go on to arrive at 113 miles per hour in reality, though it doesn't feel as slow as being the figures suggest. However, you need to master your gear changes. It's simple to get caught inside the wrong gear at low revs. Maximum torque is obtainable from 1,500 revolutions per minute, but peak power is obtainable at 3,500 revolutions per minute. To get essentially the most out of this MiTo, you should rev it quite hard by way of example on the motorway, but also in doing, and that means you're made conscious of it's a diesel engine within the bonnet. Engines will no longer available. The 135 horsepower multi-air turbocharged 1.4-liter petrol engine, which replaced a previous 120 horsepower version, offers lively performance with good low-down pulling power. It will sprint from 0.62 miles per hour in 8.2 seconds and provides a great balance of performance and economy. Top from the range was the 1.4 TB multi-air QV Quattro Valvole, Italian for 4-valve with 170 horsepower. This powers the Quadrifoglio Verde model previously known since the Cloverleaf. The good news is called Veloce, carry on from standstill to 62 miles per hour in 7.5 seconds and after that on to a highly regarded speed of 136 miles per hour. It's rapid enough, however, if outright pace will be your thing. Likely opt for faster alternatives as being a Mini Cooper S hatch and even an Audi S1. The smallest twin-air dual-cylinder Petrol included in the range in 2012 with 85 horsepower. It delivers adequate performance, with 0.62 miles per hour taking 12.5 seconds, but it really has to be worked difficult to accelerate the MiTo as well as to maintain a good motorway cruising speed. Alfa Romeo claims that twin-air can average 67.3 miles per gallon. Nevertheless, you'll have to push incredibly gently to have anywhere near that. To confuse things further, there was clearly two diesel engines available earlier inside MiTo's life. First up was single.3-liter JTDM2 unit with 85 horsepower plus a 12.9-second 0.62 miles per hour time, while there has also been a 1.6-liter unit using a more impressive 120 horsepower offered. This were built with a 0.62 miles per hour duration of less than 10 seconds and offered strong in-gear pace and good refinement. Sharp handling and alpha trait. Driving modes tailor experience. Firm ride and vague steering, though. The MiTo in all fairness agile but is dissatisfied a little by vague steering, no matter what driving mode you've selected. This is controlled by using an electronic system suited to the car which Alfa Romeo calls DNA, which means dynamic, natural and all-weather. This enables drivers to toggle between 3 driving modes with assorted levels of responsiveness by using a switch ahead and the gear lever. Holding the switch forward for the second selects dynamic, which delays the intervention on the traction and stability control systems, cuts down on the level of power assistance from the steering to result in a firmer suspension setup. It's somewhat more engaging for your driver but less comfortable than normal mode, as well as the steering feels very needing to self-center. Pulling the switch back selects all-weather, which leads to a dulled throttle response and earlier intervention on the stability control system for better control on the vehicle in difficult conditions. The DNA system was revised slightly in 2012. Natural once was called normal. Every time the automobile started it defaulted to the mode. Now, though, it remembers what we had the vehicle in last time you drove it, and stays within this mode. In all modes, though, the MiTo offers tidy body control with almost no roll, because of that firmer suspension setup, plus the steering is quick to answer, if with a lack of communication to the driver. Aging interior feels dated. Taller drivers may struggle to obtain comfy. Plenty of apparatus, though. What provides the MiTo's advancing age could be the interior. It's not as appealing because the smart exterior styling. Although there's a soft-touch dashboard panel, the vast majority of plastics used are usually hard and unappealing, especially about the doors where you're planning to rest your arms and also be in contact with it. The touchscreen infotainment system, while very easy to operate, is very small and low-sit, whilst the dials could be hard to watch if you would like to glance down quickly, especially the speedometer with small digits and also a fiddly-looking trip screen in between the instruments. Visibility isn't a robust suit, either, with thick pillars obstructing the scene rearwards, but a minimum of the door mirrors are big and it's very easy to find a comfortable driving position. Supportive and comfortable seats inside the MiTo. Firm ride up sets the piece. Some refinement issues, too. Comfort levels from the MiTo are fantastic in some ways, but less so in other people. Air conditioning and electric windows are standard, as well as the seats deserve special mention because of their deep cushioning, although they is usually tricky to modify owing to awkwardly positioned handles. Rear seat space isn't really bad either, certainly better as opposed to mini hatch, although headroom could possibly be tight for passengers near 6 feet tall. As you move, the small rear windows make things feel quite dark. However, excessive engine, road and wind noise mainly about the pillarless doors is noticeable, especially on cars fitted with 17-inch wheels or larger. Ride quality isn't wonderful either, bumps and jolts from the road surface making themselves known more keenly than we'd like, which will take the edge off the knowledge somewhat. Not all drivers will probably be able to acquire comfortable, either. Many will find there's inadequate adjustment from the steering wheel, feeling excessive for smaller drivers. The wheel also feels quite big for your size of car. All MiTo models are very equipped. Even entry-level designs include lots of kit. Several options packs to include. The Alfa Romeo MiTo is comprised of following trim levels: Standard MiTo, Super, Specially and Veloce. Standard Alfa Romeo MiTo hatchback equipment. Rather handily, the entryway to the MiTo range is the MiTo. It is included with 16-inch alloy wheels, 5.0-inch U-connecting infotainment system with Bluetooth, USB and O inputs, DAB radio and voice control, aircon, leather-covered gear lever and controls, electrically adjustable door mirrors, 7 airbags. Step nearly super with this extra kit. 17-inch alloy wheels. Front fog lights. Rear parking sensors. Cruise control. Front armrest. Passenger seat height adjustment with lumbar adjustment on both front seats. Clothco leather upholstery. Chrome window surrounds. Aluminium pedals. For a rather sportier feel, the Specially adds 17-inch gray alloy wheels. Flat bottom tire with red stitching. Gray trim for your door mirrors and light-weight surrounds. Privacy glass. Red brake calipers. Alcantara sports seats with red stitching. Black headlining. Sport styles with white illumination. At the top in the range could be the MiTo Veloce, with 18-inch alloy wheels. Alpha active suspension system, adaptive damping. U-connect nav infotainment system. Twin chrome exhaust pipes. Optional Alfa Romeo MiTo hatchback extras. There are plenty of possibilities open on the MiTo, a few of which have been bundled into packs. Sport pack, sport styles, front fog lights, red brake calipers and tinted rear windows. Comfort pack, front center armrest with storage, lumbar adjustment for front seats, 12 volts power socket, rear parking sensors. Visibility pack, automatic headlights and wipers, electrically folding mirrors, auto-dimming rear view mirror. Lasso pack, climate control, front center armrest, heated front seats, rear parking sensors, third rear headrest, leather upholstery. Several in the options inside the packs above can be obtained as individual options, but we'd recommend staying with the packs for getting more kit on the cheap. 5 stars for that MiTo. But that had been under old testing regime. No driver assistance tech available. The MiTo scored a 5-star rating for adult occupant protection in official Euro NCAP crash tests, the most rating sold at the time of that launch, and is included with electronic stability control as standard in addition to 7 airbags, including a driver's knee airbag. However, that had been under pre-2009 issues that were less stringent compared to they are now. For example, the MiTo isn't provided with any advanced driver assistance tech like autonomous emergency braking like many of their much more modern rivals. There are 2 ISOFIX points located inside rear, but families might have a problem with fitting child seats because MiTo is available being a 3-door. 3-door body isn't essentially the most practical. But there's more space compared to a mini hatch. Decent-sized boot, but challenging to load heavy items. The MiTo is available as being a 3-door, so those taking a look at one won't have practicality at the top of their set of priorities. Despite this, interior space is definitely quite good compared to using its rivals, especially the Mini. Nonetheless, it's still no people carrier. As standard, it's a 4-seater, with a great deal of room inside the front and enough space for regurgitate adults from the back. It feels more cramped. Personal computer really is because of dark headlining in certain models and small rear windows. Nevertheless, it's still hardly spacious. A 5th seat could be specified at expense, and you wouldn't strive to be in that seat for too long, even if you're children. The MiTo can be a small car, and that means you won't have a problem with fitting it into tight spaces in the city or down small roads. However, the little amount of glass means visibility is often a little restricted, especially the back, but large door mirrors will help with maneuvering, and parking sensors are standard on almost the entry-level models. At 270 liters, the MiTo's boot is really a good size that's also square and deep. However, the loading lip is quite high, which isn't particularly helpful if you're loading heavy or awkward items. It'll expand by folding the seats down, though the MiTo is actually no means a vehicle to be doing regular car boot sales in.